router will see whether this router and this router and this router are free. If the router is not free, at that time it cannot do anything. It has to simply queue the packet. Queue the packet. It has to simply put the packet in queue and wait for these to get free. So I have seen that 4 came before 3 and 2. 3 came before 2 and 2 arrived at end. Though it started early, but it arrived at end. So have you understood datagram approach of what I meant to say this thing?
Yes, sir.
Packet switching?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we will refer this kind of annotation as connectionless networks, because connection was not established at all. I mean to say all the packets followed different routes. All the packets 1, 2, 3 followed different routes. So connection, what I meant to say, establishment was separate route was not established. So we call such kind of data transfer as connectionless data transfer. Less data transfer. In other simple words, I call it as connectionless networks. In simple words, I call it as connectionless networks. So connectionless, basically here, the router or switch will not keep information about the connection. So every switch or router is behaving independently. It has not remembered which, to which particular router or switch next the packet has to be forwarded. Whereas in circuit switched, every switch has to remember, like once the packet comes, this packet will go to this particular switch only, not any other switch. It will go to this particular switch only, not any other thing. So here, in a circuit switch network, every switch intermediate node has to remember the whole path, has to remember the path. You got that? Whereas in connectionless is not necessary. It simply sees which source is free, which next source nearest to the destination is free. Simply it will be pushing the packet. And there is no setup, what I meant to say, phase, no tear down phase, only data transfer phase, only data transfer phase. So that is the difference between a circuit switched network and packet switched network, right? And each packet is treated the same by the switch regardless of its source and source or the destination. So here, but how exactly this, packeting, sending of the packet happens? So here we have every router will have something called as routing table. You got the idea? So how the routing has to be done? It has to be done through the routing table. So datagram networks basically send the packets based on the router information available in router. So we will see what is this routing table. You got the idea? Now here, if this is the router which is having port 1, port 2, port 3, port 4. You got the idea? So if the destination is 1232, you got the idea? So some packet has arrived from port 1. You got the idea? Some packet has arrived from port 2 to this particular what I'm saying switch. Some packet has arrived from port 2 and the destination address is 1232. So that here in the routing table, it is written that if the destination address is 1232, it has to be pushed into port 1. So the packet which has arrived from port 2 will be pushed into this. If the destination address, suppose the packet arrived from what I mean to say source 3 here to this particular switch and the destination address was 4150. In this packet which was received from 3 here, you got the idea, the address was 4150. So this will have to be pushed in output port 2. So it arrived here and it will be pushed here like this. If the destination address, suppose 4 has sent the data or 1 has sent the data from this place, which is having destination address 9130. So this 9130 destination has to be pushed into port 3 like this. Based on the routing table, once the packet is received, the router will refer to its what I mean to say routing table, and then it will refer to the destination address. If the destination address is there, it has to push the packet to a particular port, Everybody has understood the
Yes, sir.
importance of routing table?
Yes, so
Okay. Anybody else? Yes.
yes, sir.
Kripa, have you understood? Kripa, Ganshu.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now we will go for the next part, right? Now we will see what is destination address. So here destination address, so you have seen in network layer, we have seen in what I mean to say, OSI, Open System Interconnect, this thing, we had the header where it contained source address, destination address of the packet, everything was there. So here at every switch, this is opened, packet is opened, the header is read, and it gets the destination information. Based on the destination information, the router decides which particular output port the data will be going. It will be forwarded to that. If that particular port is not free, then that packet will be moving into the queue. That packet will be moving into the queue, right? Now the efficiency of what I meant to say, datagram network is better than that of circuit switch networks, because here we are not establishing, because most of the time is required for connection establishment in circuit switch network and connection tear down. Data transfer happens to be very fast, but connection establishment, that is connection setup, and connection tear down takes a lot of time. You got the idea? And then resource allocation, all intermediate resources are allocated. So till the time data transfer happens, those resources which have been allocated cannot be used by any other sending source, So efficiency wise, this datagram network is far better when compared to circuit switch network. Now we will try to calculate the delay. How much of delay is encountered? You got the idea? In datagram network. So that we shall see in next slide. So here, assuming that this is the sending source and this is the receiving source, you got the idea. And I have taken two switches, but it may happen two routers, but it may happen I may have to pass the data through 8 routers. But for the sake of simplicity, I mean to say, just to take a very simple scenario, I have taken 2 routers here. But it may happen I may have 8 routers, I may have 9 routers through which the data has passed, even 10 routers. You got the idea? And from jump from this place to this place is called one hop, and from this place to this place, second hop, and from this place to this place, third hop. Now, I just want to ask one question. Initially, the beginning of the semester, I had taught you how many maximum hops uh, is a packet allowed to take?
10 to 15.
Huh?
10 to 15.
Not 10 to 15, it is exactly 15 maximum. You got the idea? Maximum 15 hops it is allowed to take, not beyond. So, you know, the moment it has started, it will have hop count of 15. The packet will have hop count of 15. You got the idea? Once it arrives here, that hop count, since one hop has been taken, so hop count becomes, instead of 15, now 15 minus 1, because one hop has been taken, so it becomes 14. Now when next hop is taken, it becomes 13, and next hop is taken, it is 12. So in 3 hops only it has reached the destination. Now assuming that I have in between 16 what I meant to say, routers. So number of hops will be 1, 2, 3, it will be exceeding 15. At one stage the hop count will become 0. Every time a hop is taken, the hop count is reduced by 1. Hop count is reduced by 1. So if the hop count in a packet becomes 0 and it has not reached the destination, if the hop count becomes 0 and the destination had not been reached by the packet, then packet is destroyed by the network. It is dropped by the network. So you should understand that packet cannot continue into the network, inside the network infinitely. It is not allowed to continue, to remain inside the network infinitely. So here we wanted to study the delay of a packet in a datagram network. You got the idea? So this is called transmission time, time taken, by first bit. So first bit of a packet. Now suppose a packet is size of the size 1 kbps, assuming that my packet is of the size 1 kbps. You got the idea? 1 kbps. So 1 kbps means I have 1 kbps. So roughly 1 kbps is equal to 1024. You got the idea? 1024 bits will be there, right? 1024 bits, right? So first bit has left A at this particular time, You got the idea? Then second bit will leave, third bit will leave, fourth bit will leave, and so on. All the 1000 bits will leave. So this is the difference between this is the time difference when the first bit left, and this is the time lag, and when the last bit left the source. You got the idea? When the last bit left the source, because between every bit there will be a gap. So first bit, between first bit and second bit, there will be a gap of say 2 microsecond or 3 microsecond, to so that I cannot send the bits simultaneously one after the other, otherwise they will collide with each other. So between one bit and second bit, there will be always a time gap. So this is the time at which the first bit left the source, then second bit, then third bit, and so on, third bit, fourth bit, and so on. 1024th bit left at this particular time. So this is called as transmission time. That means time required by, a packet, packets all the bits to leave from source, this is the time required. So this is called transmission time. Next is something called as here. So this is called wait time. You can see the packet, that was received at this particular time. The first bit was left, it arrived at this particular time. So if you draw a straight line, you can see this is the time lag. You got the idea? This is the time lag. After this particular time, the first bit was received and the last bit was received at this particular place. And here I have a gap again. So here I have a gap. Why gap is given? Because this particular router has to decide that this packet destination is where to which destination it has to go. So it has to see its routing table, that it has arrived, this packet has arrived to this particular port, it is its destination address in so and so, so it has to be sent to this particular port number. So this is the time lag. You see, immediately the packet was not sent, it was processing delay. So this is called processing delay.
Error check
Got
also
the idea? Wait
sir,
time, you should say.
error check also will be there, no sir?
Yeah, any doubt, Lab?
Yes sir, error check will be there.
Error check, all processing, everything will be there, all processing will happen. You got the idea? So this is wait time. I can see the wait time is not this is from starting from here, processing time, wait time, everything is there. And then after this, you can see here, this is again waiting time. So this is the processing time and then wait time. So after this, so it started at this particular time, the first bit, and the first bit was received at this particular time. So total delay here, I can say this is propagation delay. This is called propagation delay. You got the idea? So the last bit left at this particular time and the last bit was received at this particular time. So this is what is total delay. You got the idea? So I can see here in general terms how exactly I can calculate the delay. So packet travels through two switches. I've just seen two switches. So this is switch 1 and this is switch 2. Am I clear over here? And there are three transmission times. Why transmission time? So this is one transmission time. Packet left the sender. Then packet left the switch 1. So this is again transmission time. And packet left the switch 2. This is again transmission time. So three transmission time. If I am representing transmission time as capital T, so I'll take this as 3T. Am I clear over here? And there is three propagation delays. Propagation delays means this is the time required from this end to this end. It is completely bit 1 has arrived, then all the bits has to travel. So this is the propagation delay between A to switch 1, between switch 1 to switch 2, and between switch 2 to switch 3. So there are three propagation delays. And then you can see, since there are two switches, so they had to wait. Waiting time was there. Waiting time also includes error check time, then processing time. Like in the previous slide we have seen that routing table is seen. If the incoming port is this and the destination address is this, then it should be what should be the outgoing port. So that is red. So I have seen two waiting times. So if you add the total delay, it is nothing but 3T plus 3 tau. Tau is small. It is taken for 3 propagation delay, and propagation delay I am representing by tau. You got the idea? And W1 and W2 are waiting time. So W1 is waiting time at switch 1 and W2 is waiting time at switch 2. Okay. So assuming that if based on this, what I meant to say, if I am asked a question, simple question is asked, assuming that calculate the total delay when transmission time is given to be, say, 100 microsecond. You got the idea? 100 microsecond. The transmission time is given to be 100 microsecond, and the propagation this propagation delay is given as 400 microsecond. You got the idea? And waiting time at each switch. Switch 1 waiting time at switch 1. So switch 1 wait time. So this is W, not N. So I should say this is wait time at switch 1. Say it was roughly 40, microsecond, 40 microsecond, and switch 2 wait time. Switch 2 wait time is given to be 38 43 microsecond. So can you calculate the entire delay? I should say the total delay, how much it will be? Yes. So I have this transmission delay as 100 microsecond, 100 microsecond, and what I meant to say, propagation delay as 400 microsecond, and the waiting time at switch 1 is 40 microsecond, not millisecond, it is microsecond, and switch 2 waiting time. So waiting time at switch 2 is 43 microsecond. So can I have the entire delay, total delay from sending source A to B?
1583.
Huh?
1583.
Everybody agrees to 1583.
Yes, sir.
How you have arrived at this particular figure?
3 into T plus 3 into tau plus
So 3 into
W1.
T means it will be 300.
Yes, sir.
And 3 into 400, that is
Yes, sir.
1200 plus 300, 1500. 1500 and then 40, that is
40.
W1 is 40 and W2 is 43. So total 83. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
So in examination, you may be having what I meant to say, such examples. You will be given what I meant to say, this thing. Besides that, sometimes you may be given queuing delay also. Queuing delay comes into the force in the waiting time only when the for onward journey, next router is not free. If this onward journey, next router is not free, then the packet is supposed to wait in queue, so that waiting time will be there. But this is in general simplest